Um, Welcome to this week's lesson. This week, we're going to be learning about email marketing, theoretically and practically. So, in this first lesson, we're going to be looking at an introduction to email marketing. And when we're talking about an introduction to email marketing, we're going to be looking at what email marketing is. Most importantly, what bulk emailing is for marketing. We're going to be looking at email service providers, what they are, and how you can use them. We're going to be looking at key features of different email service providers when it comes to bulk emailing. We're also going to be looking at types of email marketing. We're going to be looking at why it is important to have an email list. You're going to be looking at email marketing strategy as well. And then we're going to be looking at the metrics you should watch out for in whatever email marketing program or projects that you're working on. Then we're going to be looking at segmentation and personalization, best practices for email marketing. Then we're going to look at some challenges that you might encounter when bulk emailing. Compliance, very key, especially considering that you might be working with companies or individuals or sending emails to people outside Africa or even within. Then we're going to be looking at theoretically some email service providers that are popular, of which I'm going to be teaching you the practical in subsequent lessons. But in this lesson, you're going to be looking at the theoretical framework of these platforms, what they are, their key features, and why you should use them or what they are, their pros or the advantages they have above the other. Then we're going to be doing a bit of case studies of businesses that use email service providers for bulk emailing. And finally, we're going to be looking at the future trends of bulk emailing today and in over the next few years or couple of years. Now, you might be wondering why you're learning about email marketing. When you're whether you're serving businesses or individuals, you're going to be seeing when we're looking at why it's important to be the list that why it's important to be the list that most of these platforms are borrowed. But these days in the online media space, the digital blueprint is mostly driven by emails than by phone number and names. Now, two similar people or two different people can have the same names, but a unique identifier is their email address. And that's why most times your username is most like your email address or cannot be the same with another. Two you don't have two people using the same email address. It doesn't happen. So email marketing has been known to really work. Whether for B2C, that's business to customer, or business to business, or business to business to customer, whichever way around, it has worked effectively. But there are pros and cons to it. And so when you're working with whether you're working with someone or you're deciding to do it yourself, it's easy to just teach you the practical and tell you, hey, sign up like this. After you sign up, you do A, B, C, D. But the truth is, there will always be new platforms coming up. And like I told you, in this program, it's very important that you understand the principle why you're doing something. So, whatever you're provided with, even in resource constrained environment or whatever you have, you can make do with it. But if you don't understand the principle, if, for example, I teach you Flodex, and tomorrow Flodex doesn't exist anymore, you're going to be stuck. Years ago, when we started Tech Up Girls, what we're teaching was MailChimp. We're still going to teach you MailChimp now, but MailChimp has modified so many things that it's not as easily accessible as it was those times. And even with their interface, so many things have changed that most of the lessons we taught then are not exactly relevant today, right? So, in as much as in this lesson, in this whole week, you're going to be learning about Flodex, you're going to be learning about Breville, and you're going to be learning about MailChimp. There are so many other ones out there, so many. But I feel if you understand the basic principle underlying what email marketing is and how it works, and then you have an understanding of the practical ones, whichever way or whichever one you find yourself, or wherever you find yourself, whichever platform they want to use, once you understand these things, you should be able to work with it. Now, email marketing is one of the most effective digital marketing strategies used by businesses today. Yes, one of the most effective is not social media, it is email marketing. It involves sending emails to a targeted list of recipients, usually with the goal of promoting a product or service, But beyond promoting, you can also use it to nurture leads. You can use it to maintain customer relationships or even increase your brand awareness. So email marketing allows for direct communication between you and your potential or existing customers, and it is cost effective and measurable. It can also drive engagement and conversations more efficiently than other channels if you execute it very well. Now, when we come to email marketing, there's email. Like you have an email. You studied in the previous week. You understood Google, and so you understood ethics in email, like sending an email, how to send an email, how to put your email signature, and all of that, and declutter your emails. That's one thing. Now, when we're talking about email marketing here, our particular focus is on bulk emailing for marketing. Okay, and when we say bulk email for marketing, we're talking about sending large volumes of emails at the same time to a targeted audience. You can use it typically for marketing, promotional, or informational purpose. It is used to reach a wide range of subscribers, customers, or leads. Now, to manage the volume and the complexity of sending bulk email efficiently, businesses usually rely on what we call email service providers. Now you can try it if you want to. It's impossible for you to use your Gmail account to directly send an email to like 1,000 people, even to 500 people, sometimes even to 200 people. I can say 100 maybe if you blind copy your copy, because especially if you're using an official email that's paid, But if you're using normal Gmail, you're gonna have issues. It's not gonna go. You're gonna bounce back and all of that. And so when you have that large volume and then you have so many customers and all, that's when we use what we call email service providers. People call it ESPs. These email service providers provide tools to help you, and not just to send the email, but to design, to send, to monitor the email campaigns, also ensuring that you're compliant with the regulations and all of that. So, bulk emailing, when you use it strategically, it can highly be effective in building your business or brand or whatever it is that you're trying to do. It's very effective. And then one thing I most especially like about it is because somebody can decide, hey, I have 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to divide the email and send 100 blank copy. The next tomorrow I'll send another one. The next tomorrow, maybe this is my limit for today. But the truth is, that can be very tiring. Also, most of this normal email does not give you the flexibility to design, except you go design somewhere and then you import as an image, and the email doesn't look it. But for email, with email service providers, you really can design it and put in links there and all of that, and you can track metrics. I love metrics. When we start looking at social media manager, you're going to be looking at KPIs and metrics, and then you're also looking at Google Analytics. You're going to be looking at metrics as well. I'm very big on metrics. What are your key performance indicators? What are you looking for? Are you just sending emails? And we're going to, as you're going to be seeing, email service providers most times are not free. Some are free, but even the ones that are free, they're going to take you time to develop. So it has to make sense. So you have to check, you have to track it, and a normal email service will not give you that. Okay. So why should you use email service providers? Email service providers offer a range of benefits, and I'm going to be sharing with you five. Number one is scalability. With email service providers, you can send large volumes of emails without overloading internal servers or triggering spam filters. I don't know if you've tried it before. By the time you, just like how you want to send bulk SMS and then they trigger this is a spam, especially when people start reporting you, the same way with email service. If you bulk email people and maybe they don't even remember they subscribed, they can spam you and block you, and you lose access to that email. Email service providers will make you avoid that. Also, email service provider allows you to automate email campaigns, segment email lists, and trigger emails based on user action, improving efficiency. For example, you're in Techy Incubator community. Most of the emails, I do not send them when you get them because I'm in a time zone that is like 8, 9 hours away from you. So I schedule them and then they automatically go live when they go. So with email service providers, you enjoy accountability. You also They also provide tools to ensure compliance with regulations. such as GDPR, which we're going to be seeing soon. Don't worry, I will explain to you what GDPR is, can spam, and all of that, helping you avoid legal issues. Then, when we come to another benefit of bulk email service is deliverability. Now, email service providers use optimized servers and anti-spam techniques to increase your email deliverability and ensure that emails reach the inbox of your target. Then finally, analytics. Like I said, I love analytics. Email service providers allow or provide detailed analytics on your open rates, how many people opened your email, how many people clicked on something in your email, how many people did the email bounce back, that's bounce rate, how many people converted, how many people unsubscribed or subscribed, at what point did they unsubscribe and subscribe, and all of that. So those are some benefits amongst others that email service providers offer. Now, some key features of bulk emailing with email service providers include: number one, list management and segmentation. With email service providers, you can manage your list efficiently. It can allow you to add, remove, update subscriber easily, and it can also help you maintain a clean list by removing invalid or inactive email addresses. Also, with segmentation, it allows you to divide your email list into smaller and more targeted groups based on demographics, behavior. For example, let me use Hire Army as an example. Hire Army has two customer segments. We have the talents and the employers. So with our email service segmentation, we can segment them, or you don't have to have all the emails go to everybody. Like, you can segment them and deliver information optimally. Also, if you have business brands and then maybe you have this product for children, you have this for men, you can segment it to help you plan your marketing strategy effectively. And when you have it segmented, you can deliver more personalized emails, and it can help you increase engagement and conversion rates because you're talking to that particular segment. We've understood what audience is. You went through a lesson of audience and segment, so you already understand what I mean when I'm talking about customer segment. Then another key feature of bulk emailing is, so before I move to the next one, if you're working with an email service provider and they don't have the option to segment lists, then it's really a disadvantage. That's one of the things you want to look for. Am I able to segment my list? And then they offer you pre-designed templates or an option to actually design. But trust me, the design is not so difficult. Most of them are drag and drop tools that make it easy for you to create visually appealing emails without coding experience. And they usually have responsive design such that you can adjust it to fit any screen, whether phone or tablet or whatever. Also, with bulk emailing, like I said initially when I was talking about why using email service providers, you can actually automate and schedule. Then you can personalize the email, personalize subject greetings, put in their names, content and all. Then there's something we call A and B testing. Email service providers, often not all of them, usually include A and B testing, also called split testing capabilities. It allows your business to test different versions of your email with different subject lines, layout, or call to actions to see which performs better. A and B testing helps optimize campaign and improve overall results. Also, like I said, analytics and reporting, and then they also help you comply with email marketing regulation. One of the most popular is the GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation. That one is usually for UK and Europe, but don't worry, we're going to be looking at those things shortly. There are different types of email you can send in marketing. There are newsletter emails where you can send regular updates to your subscribers, featuring a product update and all. You can have promotional emails as well. You can have transactional emails. You can have welcome emails. You can have lead nurturing emails, and you can have re-engagement emails. Now, you might be wondering, oh, building a list is a whole lot of stuff. Why do I have to build a list? An email list, what we call an email list, is a collection of email addresses that a business has gathered from people who have either subscribed or shown interest in their product or services or your brand. Having an email list is very critical because it gives you direct communication with potential and existing customers. It gives you ownership unlike rented platforms and then high engagement. Now let me drop my note and explain something to you. In 2017, I was a braided wig seller, and I was selling on a platform called Etsy, ETSY, Etsy.com. I was in Nigeria, but then I was selling, my main primary target was the US, but then I had sold to 15 countries. Was it 15 or 10? I had sold to people through Etsy in the US, in the UK, in fact, Norway. There were some countries that I'd never heard about before that I had people buying from me. And within a year plus, I had risen to the number one um, braided wig seller on that platform at that time. I think that was in 2017. I had my son in 2016. I started this in 2017. I think by 2018 or something. No, 2018, that was when my marriage packed up. No, it was 2017. I kind of had risen up to that. And then I had my marital issues, and then I had issues with everything. I left everything. It was difficult to put in standard. And guess what? One day I woke up and ET had shut down my store. They didn't tell me why. They didn't, I tried to appeal what, they didn't give me any specific reason. You know how they give you this blanket reason. And I just left my marriage, and this was just a few weeks, and that was all I had. It was like my essence. It was like, this is where I'm getting money. This was all the work I was doing, and you just shut me down. But it wasn't my platform. I don't own it. I didn't own it. So they can shut me down anytime they like. It's just like people wake up and they find out that their Facebook or Instagram account has been deleted. Do you see? It was so painful. I wrote them, they shut me out. I tried to set up another account. Maybe they have identified my IP address. They locked me out as well. So what did I do? I had to sit down. Now for every sale that comes, I get notified into my email that this is the sale, the email address of the person, the name of the person, and the order. I always get it. So I sat down and I began to extract all the emails of all the sales I had made. This was hundreds of emails. And I eventually knew that I can't set on this platform. It's time for me to build my own. So I had to build a Shopify website for myself. And then when I built this website for myself, the next thing I did was to send an email to all these people that had bought from it to tell them, "Ha, it's please shut down my store. I'm not sure what's going on," and all of that. But I have my store now, and if you buy from my store, it's going to be cheaper because when I was on Etsy, they collected a commission or whatever I sold. But I'm like, I have my store now. So if you buy from my store, you're going to be getting so percentage off. And this was my link. Guess what? Like about 35% actually responded immediately. And some followed me through for a while before I stopped doing that. That is what email would do. I don't know. In Nigeria, we pick calls. Here, most people don't pick calls because there are a lot of spam calls. So many spam calls. So most people really pick their phones. And you can just, SMS can be a little bit stressful, but with Brevo, it can work. We're going to be looking at Brevo. So you're going to be seeing why Brevo works. So you might be able to use Brevo. And maybe you can try WhatsApp, but it also depends on where your target audience are and what they actually use. But you see, email, well, you might not get 100% response, but some people will definitely respond. So I valued having email list, and it has really helped. So yes, that's a personal example of why you should have an email list. They can it gives you a sense of ownership and direct access to them. I had a friend who, the thing is, even if your phone is stolen, you might not be able to retrieve your number, but you can always somehow retrieve your email. I had a friend who lost his phone, and he was spammed, and he just reached out to me and via email. I'm like, my phone is stolen, please. I lost your number. Can you resend your number to me? But that's what an email can do. Okay. Now you might be wondering, how do I build an email list? Now, to build an email list, there are three major things I want to talk to you about. Number one, lead magnet. Lead magnet. For the list I initially had, they bought my product, so I got their emails. But then through Techy had offered a free ebook, and when you want to download the ebook is free, but then you get email. Some shops you can see, you want to buy online, they'll say subscribe and get 10% off. You can offer a discount in exchange for an email. You can offer access to exclusive content in exchange for an email. Those are called lead magnets. Then you also have opt-in forms. For example, if you go to our website, once you just visit it, boom, you just see subscribe. Now you can close it if you want, but those are opt-in forms. You can embed on your website, you can put on your like landing page to encourage visitors to subscribe. Then we also have social media. You can promote your email list on social media to attract social media platforms to attract people to subscribe. But see, whenever you're building your email list, no matter what you're doing, always ensure that you double opt in to confirm email subscribers so that you ensure they comply with the GDPR law. And please, I beg you, don't buy a list. Don't buy an email list. It doesn't help. It's not ethical. It's not fair. And by the time people keep moving you to spam, it sends the wrong message and it can literally blacklist you. Okay. Now, an email marketing strategy is very important. You know about a list now. You know why you should do email marketing. You now understand what bulk emailing is. I want to talk to you about email marketing strategy. It involves. It's not just an effective email marketing strategy is not just about sending random emails, but it's about being intentional in creating a strategy for you to win. You're going to be seeing how to create a social media strategy later, but this is an email marketing strategy. And like with any strategy, it starts with your goals. Start with your goals. What do you want to achieve with your email marketing campaign? Email marketing can be a lot of work. So, what do you want to achieve? Do you want to increase sales? Do you want to drive website traffic? Do you want to nurture leads? After you've identified your goals, now you identify your target audience. You don't identify your target audience before your goals. Your goals will determine what you have to do, where you have to do it, when you have to do it, and how you have to do it. Even the platform you use, your goals will determine that. So once you've determined or set your goals, you identify your target audience. And understanding your target audience, understand their demographics, their preferences, their behaviors, and you can use those things to segment the email list. Then you want to create valuable content. Every email should provide value, whether through useful content or exclusive offers or help information. Your emails should engage and provide something meaningful to your audience. Then another thing you want to pay attention in your strategy is aesthetics. Make sure you design clean, professional designs with compelling image if you have to, and a clear structure. Then your subject is very, very important. It has to be compelling, relevant, succinct, that is short and simple, and personalized if possible. Every platform has their requirement for subject. We're going to be talking about it later. And if possible, include the recipient's name in your subject. And then your email should have a call to action. After reading the email, what do you want them to do? What are the instructions you want them to do there? It should be clear and easy. It doesn't have to be something having to do. It could be just smile or something, or it doesn't have to be something that has to get back to you. Okay. Then you can automate your emails and then always go back and analyze and see how many people opened. Do I have to resend? Which people did not open, or what is going on? Now, in talking about analysis, it brings us to email marketing metrics. There are some key performance indicators that you need to understand in order to monitor your email marketing. Number one is the open rate. The open rate is the percentage of people who open your email. We're going to be looking at it when we do the practical. Then you to include your open rate, you might need to pay attention to your subject lines. What is your subject? If it doesn't make sense or it looks too salesy, they might not open. Then another metrics you want to pay attention to is the click-through rate. The click-through rate is the percentage of recipients who clicked a link within your email. So, for example, if you put a link to buy something or to go somewhere, you can actually trace how many people clicked that link from your analysis. And then conversion rate is another indicator you want to pay attention. Conversion rate is the percentage of people who complete whatever desired action you indicated in the email. Now, the conversion can actually be to click something in the email, so you can see the conversion rate and the click-through rate as well. Then bounce rate is the percentage of emails that are not delivered to the recipient inbox. Sometimes people make a mistake, they miss a letter, they miss something. From time to time, it's important that you clean your email list and remove inactive subscribers or inactive email addresses. The email service providers will usually tell you this email will bounce, and by the time you see it bounce one twice, clean it. or if you look at it manually and you can make a correction. Then you have the unsubscribe rate. The unsubscribe rate is the percentage of people who unsubscribe after receiving your mail. Now, if people unsubscribe, most times after each email, go and check how many unsubscribes do we get from this. If the unsubscribe is high, you might want to revisit the content of that email again to see what might have been the mistake, or what might have made them to actually unsubscribe. So those are key things you need to know about email marketing metrics. Then let's quickly move to some best practices for email marketing. Some best practices for email marketing. Number one, it's very important that you're compliant with email laws. We're going to be looking at compliance in a bit, where I talked about the Can't Spam Act, which is in the US, and the GDPR, which is in Europe and in the UK. Also, make sure you optimize your email for mobile. Most people will view it on mobile. So sometimes people send emails and then it's too broad. And then when it gets to mobile, the edges have caught. And when the person opens it, it doesn't make any sense. Now, also, another best practice is always obtain permission. Ensure that you're sending emails only to people who have opted in to receive them. Now, it's understandable that some people subscribe to something and forget. So, if you see in some emails, you always see a little caveat under that you're receiving this email because you subscribed on our website or you bought our product or something, and then give them option to subscribe if they want to. Always segment your audience. It helps you to send more targeted and relevant content to specific groups. Personalize your emails, create engaging content, make sure you monitor metrics and optimize. Avoid spammy words. Spammy words like free, click here. If you do that, the system is triggered and you might not deliver your mail optimally. Also, if you're using a platform where you can do A and B testing, test different elements of your emails. Also, do not overwhelm your subscribers with too many emails. Find a frequency that keeps your audience engaged without causing email fatigue. If your email is coming too much, they just unsubscribe because they get overwhelmed. With bulk emailing, even as you do these best practices, there could be challenges such as deliverability. Deliverability is the ability of your email to land in the inbox rather than spam. While email service providers help to ensure that your email lands at inbox, sometimes they go to spam. And so there are some filters you might need to use, some words that you might need to take off, that if you put them there, it will sound promotional and send to promotional inbox or spam, except the subscriber eventually moves it to inbox and subsequently goes to inbox. So that could be an issue. Then email fatigue. When you send too many emails, people can unsubscribe, and or some will not unsubscribe but they will not open it because they get used to it, like nothing serious. And so when you have something serious, you're not paying attention to it. Also, data privacy and compliance could be an issue, and then list management. Maintaining a clean and up-to-date list is essential for the success of any bulk email campaign that you want to do. So regularly remove inactive subscribers and clean your list to avoid high bounce rates or spam complaints. Before I send any new email, every time I go and clean my list, anybody that unsubscribe goes off. Now it depends on the platform. For most platforms, once somebody unsubscribes, they never can get in again. And some people are just so funny, they're not patient, they want to get in again, except they use another email. Most times they're not able to get back in anymore. Now, this segment is very, very, very important. Compliance. Compliance is a very key concern when sending bulk emails, and it's essential to ensure that your business or your brand adheres to these regulations I'm going to be talking to you about. I'm going to be sharing three: one for Europe and UK, one for the United States, and one for Canada. Now, there's something we call the GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation. It's in the European Union and UK, and what it requires or it stipulates is that you must obtain explicit consent from users before sending marketing emails. You must use clear opt-in forms, and data must be stored securely. Now, If the clients I had were in the UK when I did that stuff I did with Etsy, I would have been banned. I would have run into issues because um they I got their email to sell to them. They didn't opt in for marketing services. They just put your emails sold. So if I'd send them, I'm not sure I put in the clause that when you are sold, you're actually automatically added to the email list, but you can subscribe if you want. So that was wrong. So I don't think I'll do that right now. So you want to have clear opt-in. Let's let you know when you sell, you actually add it to an email list, and so we're going to be sending you subsequent emails or promotional emails, and you can unsubscribe later. Also, users have the must have the right to unsubscribe at any time. So if you're sending emails to anybody in European Union or UK, make sure that at the end of your mail there is an option to unsubscribe. It is very important. When you don't comply to GDPR rules, you can be fined as up to 20 million euros or 4% of your company's annual revenue, which is higher, anyone that is higher. Annual revenue, not annual profits. Do you see that? So it's very, very dangerous. And sometimes some of us think small, I'm small, I beg, it's not necessary. And you don't know where it will hit you. So you might do something, it might not be now, it might be years later, somebody will just come to sue you. Then we also have the CAN Spam Act. CAN is CAN, then Spam Act. It covers the United States. It says that marketing emails must include a valid postal address for the sender. So you must include an address. So some people won't send emails and they just want to put just the city and the country. If you're sending emails in the US, you must have a full address that can they can mail to. Then it has to be a clear and easy to there has to be a clear and easy to find unsubscribe link in the email, and misleading subject lines or sender names is prohibited. Don't mislead them. If you do, when somebody sues you, you can pay a fine of up to 43,792 United States dollars. Yeah. Then Canada has its own. It's called Canada's anti-spam legislation, and this covers Canada. It requires that express consent is required before sending commercial electronic messages, and businesses must include the sender's contact information and unsubscribe mechanism in every email. So they're just all the same, just in different terms and words. But Canada fine is up to $10 million for businesses. So don't make that mistake. All right. So those are compliances in bulk email that you must pay attention to, especially considering you want to go global. Now, in this week, you're going to be learning about some email service providers like Flodex, Breville, and MailChimp. And I want to give a theoretical rundown of them quickly before I go into practical. Flodex is my favorite, and that's what we currently use at the Techy Incubator. But no, I think I prefer Breville. But right now, Flodex works for so many reasons. Yeah, Breville is very functional. We're going to be seeing how and why. But then I use Flodex and I love it. And if you're a startup, you're just growing, you're constrained to resources, Flodex is nice. Also, Flodex was created by women, so you see why it's number one on my list. And so it's a way of supporting women, and it has very when you see something created by women, you know it has the interface very beautiful, very very simple, very minimalistic, but yet very catching. It's quite new compared to MailChimp and Breville that we're going to be looking into, but you can create visually stunning emails. Like it's very visually appealing. It's very feminine, female, so by very guy, you can also use it. It offers very beautiful templates and simple drag and drop editor. It's very popular among creative entrepreneurs and small business. And why? The reason why it is because not just because of its design, but because of its flat pricing. Unlike other email service providers, Flodex offers flat pricing for unlimited emails and subscribers. Now, I don't want to say the amount because you might be watching this video sometime later, so the price might be um, different at that time, but they promise that they're going to stick to flat pricing. So it's the same price whether you have 5,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers or any amount of subscribers. Some other email platforms is not like that. The more subscribers you have or the more emails you send, the more you pay monthly or annually. With Flodex, is flat. Also, it offers beautiful automation workflow, so you can send automation. And the way automation works is, for example, when the opt in, they get this email. 2 days later, they get this email. 3 days later, or 21 days later, it has all those automation features. But his main strength is actually the visual appealing, customizable email templates that you can easily use. It's very great for small businesses, solopreneurs, creatives, especially when you're focused on design and you're very particular about branding. Then we have my next favorite, which is Breville. It's formerly called Sending Blue. It was called Sending Blue before, but it's currently called Breville. It is a very versatile email service provider. It offers not just email marketing, but SMS marketing and marketing automation tools. So it caters for businesses of all sizes, and it doesn't have a flat rate like Flodex. It has a pay as you go model. So it just depends on where you are. Some key features of Breville is that you have advanced automation, um, just advanced automation in that before they even come back, they come in, the automation flow allows you to send emails based on the user's activity. It's more advanced than what you have on Flodex. It also offers the SMS marketing integration, which is great for multi-channel marketing. And then the segmentation on Flodex, you can segment list, but the segmentation on Brevo is more advanced. It's more advanced, and then it also has real-time reporting like that. What's his name? Flodex also has real-time reporting, but Brevo is more comprehensive. I think it's ideal for small and medium-sized business that can afford email and SMS marketing. And like I said, is pay as you go. So yeah. Then we have MailChimp. MailChimp used to be my favorite because you have it free for up to 2,000 subscribers, but they changed all of that. It's also the most widely used email service provider. It has a user-friendly interface. It has robust features and integration capabilities. It offers email marketing. It offers landing page. It offers one uniqueness. It also offers is customer relationship management, that's CRM, and it also offers social media ad management. So it's kind of a full-fledged marketing platform. Do you see? But it doesn't offer SMS. Um, it's ideal for businesses of any size, especially for comprehensive marketing, but it's somehow also in between in terms of pricing, pay as you go. It doesn't have a flat rate as well. Um, but it's really nice. We're going to be seeing it in a bit. So, um, So if I had a very small business, I'm a personal brand, I most likely would use Flodex. Then if I'm a personal brand, I most likely will use Flodex. If I'm a startup that is growing rapidly, I most likely will use Breville. And if I'm larger, I most likely will go for MailChimp. These are my personal thoughts. So that's why I'm just giving you the three of them tutorials so that whichever you come. Now, I need you to know that there are so many other email service providers that you can use and that you should use. Um, Depending, and there's also Substack, and then there's Mail Poet. There's so many actually, but I think with the foundations of this, you're good to go for a while. Now, wrapping up with this whole theoretical, I think this might be the longest lesson you would have watched so far in this boot camp, but I think it's very important that you have this comprehensively. Um, as email marketing continues to evolve, there are several trends and innovations that are shaping the future of bulk emailing. And you all know the number one. Can you guess? AI and machine learning. So most email service providers are integrating um, AI and machine learning to optimize email marketing strategies. It can help you send more emails, so you want to look more at that. Then people are creating more interactive emails where you can have polls and quizzes, and you can even embed videos into the email. So those are trends currently going on. And then there's what we call hyper personalization. So beyond the personalization where you can include the person's name, hyper personalization involves using data and behavioral analytics, like you, for example, sending specific product recommendation based on the user's browsing history, just like how you get targeted ad based on your what you're viewing, or how Siri is listening to you and suggesting stuff, right? That's how most times with email, you can, with some platforms, you can actually be that specific such that it's almost impossible for them to ignore not buying, except they don't have the buying power at that time or something. There's also accelerated mobile pages, which is called AMP for emails. Technology is now that technology is now incorporated in emails, considering that most people interact with their phones more than their laptops. Then there's more increased focus on data privacy. With AI and all of that, and data privacy becoming an issue, there are becoming more strict regulations around email marketing, and people are paying attention. So you need to ensure great transparency and respect for consent when collecting and using personal data. Bulk emailing, it remains one of the most powerful tools for digital marketing, and it offers you a reach um, and an engagement, a unique engagement that social media will not give you, and beyond that, some form of ownership. And so it's something that I feel people should include, even if it's once a quarter or once a month. You're sending an email, it works. Now, I know it can be expensive. There are also some other platforms that are absolutely free. So let's go right into the practical framework of um, the whole email marketing bits. I hope you found this lesson valuable.